Well, it's the end of the aquaponic growing season, unless you got a greenhouse. I don't have a greenhouse yet. You can see my tomatoes are about ready for a long nap. They've about done all they're going to be able to do this year. This is my 2.5 inch siphon. I was just going to time it and see, because I said earlier I was going to try to get close to 5 cycles an hour. I don't have it on all of my beds, and I'm still, like I said, trying to make some adjustments and make everything perfect. But there it goes. You can see I've got a tremendous amount of water coming into this bed. It's a lot of water coming in. You would want to have the right siphon, for the right, match your siphon with the amount of water that you have coming into your grow bed. And obviously this is a 2.5 inch siphon, ABS siphon, and I have a lot of water coming into the grow bed. It's a pretty good amount. I have a pretty good amount coming in over here with my 2-inch siphons as well. And that's what I'm set up for, is cycle time. And so I'm just going to time it from the time that it breaks until the time that it breaks cycle again. One complete cycle. And just see how close I was able to come to the 5 cycles per hour. Not that you need 5 cycles. I wanted to try to get to 5 cycles for my tomatoes. I thought it might help my tomatoes do better. I think one thing that would help using a different kind of gravel than what I'm using here. Get a little bit more aeration down in there. Okay, we're getting close. There we go. The break, and showing 322 on my phone here when it broke. And so we'll see when it breaks again, and see how many cycles that is in an hour. I'm just curious. It doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be 5 an hour. I was just trying to get to that point, trying to give as much aeration to my roots. Like I said, if I'd used something other than the type of gravel I used here, I think it would have gotten a lot more aeration to the roots. And I don't know what's going on with my tomatoes. Other than, that's just one thing. I'm thinking maybe they're not getting enough aeration to the roots. And I'm using this gravel, it's sort of a river rock. I should have used 3/4 inch. I couldn't find the 3/4 inch granite. That obviously would have let a lot more air flow through than this river rock here. Sort of a pea gravel, different sizes of gravel or rock in here. It's not letting as much air through as I would like it to. Cycle wise, I'm doing pretty good. Irregardless, I definitely have got to be 4 or 5 cycles an hour. And it's a lot of water coming in. And So everything's worked well with my new system. I'm going to make a few adjustments to it. I've talked about some of those adjustments that I want to make, and I've got that raft bed over there that I had designed for indoors, and now I moved it outdoors, and so the bottom board that I was using is coming apart on me. But like I said, I designed it for indoors, now it's outdoors, and thank God it's held together this long, and which is fine. I needed to make some adjustments anyway. I've already harvested my fish. I've got just a few more in there that are being quite elusive. I'm going to take next year off and build my greenhouse and make some adjustments and get everything ready. And then I don't want to rush, but I don't want to put any more fish in here till I'm able to keep them alive year round. So I don't have to harvest them all at one time. I can harvest them as and these, these tilapia are amazing. You don't need a breeder colony to get them to breed. They produce some more fish because I just had them all in the tank together. The next thing you know, I got some little baby fishies, running around. And that was inside in the sort of semi-sunroom environment. And so I brought some outside, and I saw a small school swimming in there, and I was like, wow, where'd you guys come from? So they really are easy, to grow from that aspect. And if I had, I guess you'd have to be careful about that, or you turn around and you have a whole lot more fish than you thought you had. Your pound per gallon, might overload on you if you weren't careful. Let's see. And we're doing really good because I said 322. It's 722 and close to it. And it's about to start. There it goes down again. So it's already filled and it's on its way down. And so it looks like it's going to be somewhere around maybe 7 minutes.
Okay. 256.
6.5 for a complete cycle. We'll see.
8980. Got it. I appreciate it, Stephen.
That would be quite a few cycles an hour. This thing is cycling pretty quickly. And I could turn it down some, and it would still break siphon or not. Well, it's going to break siphon. It would still fire. The siphon would still fire if I turned it down. I don't know how much, but it's obviously this is where I had it set, and I've actually shut some of my other beds off because I didn't have them all full, and so there's quite a bit coming out here in this one bed. So definitely 5 cycles an hour is very doable with these siphons, and I guess maybe even more than that. Then again, not that you need it. Like I said, they recommend 4, so I don't see why. Just want to make sure I'm getting a good solid 4 cycles an hour, and this is the first time I've timed it to actually see how many I'm getting out here, and I'm not getting it anywhere near this much on the other beds. This is at the end of the line here, and the water is just chugging right on out, and I had the 2.5 inch siphon stuck in here, and I don't know if this thing restarted on me or what.